And welcome back, guys, to the Mario Kart Double Dash Time Trials Tournament. I am here. I am Chris.
Hey guys, first time commentary here. I'm Rick Bick.
And we got a pretty exciting match for you guys today. We have UltimArkh versus Lothjon. Pretty close on the leaderboards. A little bit of a discrepancy, but it's going to be a hype match for sure.
Yeah,
so we're going to get into our
I've been really looking forward to this one. These two guys are pretty close. It's every time we get close match with the one tries, it's always going to be hype.
For sure, for sure. So we're going to ask the players here about their sort of history in Double Dash. So Lothjon, when did you get into Double Dash, and how do you feel about the match today?
Oh, well, I mean, I started like late 2017, but like, yeah, so I'm pretty new, but like, I feel pretty good about it, to be honest.
Nice, nice. You're pretty high up there on the leaderboards for starting so late. UltimArkh, how do you feel about the match today? When do you start Double Dash?
Hi everyone. So I started Double Dash in 2011. I was doing a All Cup tour back then, and then I joined Goomba and everyone on the time trial train in I think 2013, somewhere around this part.
Nice. You made the right decision moving to TTs.
Yes, it's less energy.
Yeah.
All right, well, with that, we're going to start off with the ban. So the higher seed is going to get the first ban here.
All right, so I'm going to ban Baby Park.
Okay, and what?
I'm going to ban DK Mountain.
Oh, come on.
Thank you both.
Dude, I've seen so much DK Mountain.
Where you do this?
All right, so the first pick now goes to the higher seed.
All right, so I'm gonna pick Sherbetland, and I think we're leaving.
Yep. So you guys can both leave the call now, and
all right. Good luck, guys.
Good luck, John.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, Sherbetland. I don't think I've seen much of this so far in the tournament.
Yeah, I think there's been maybe one. I think Trey versus Emo, but I mean that was kind of a wash. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two deal with it because they're so.
Yeah, and we do have a pretty close matchup here. We've got Lothjon coming in at 115 flat, and UltimArkh coming in just about 0.2 under that. So it's gonna come down to mistakes.
Yeah, for sure. Their flaps are within 0.1 seconds, so pretty much a trivial distance there. And like you said, their three laps are within 0.2 seconds. So it's going to come down to, obviously, their lines, their MTs, but probably going to come down to a mistake.
Yeah, and there's a lot of hazards, a lot of places to mess up on Sherbetland, lots of snow, ice corners to get stuck on.
Yeah, that's really what is interesting about the one tries is that when you're grinding out time trials, you have so many times to restart when you're on your own. But with the one try, if you hit one little thing, it could be lights out for you.
All right, and looks like we're just about to get into it. All right, here we go.
A bit of a delay, but that's all right. So UltimArkh going to be starting off. Interesting to note that he's using the French version, which is, oh wow, okay, so that lag actually synced them back up.
Oh no, they'll sync the streams on purpose.
Ah, gotcha, okay. So far, both players playing pretty well.
I've gotta say, it is a little depressing to see these guys. Because they're probably both gonna beat my PR on their one tries.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of it.
Oh man! All right.
Ultim already getting a bit of a snag on the first lap.
Playing it safe, taking a bit of a wide line there, but in one tries, that's definitely the move. So.
Yeah, for sure. Ultim's gonna have to figure out how to get back here. He's playing consistently so far, but that one stuck has kind of gone behind by about a half a second. actually around.
All right, coming back to the ice again. All right, man.
So Ultim had a pretty bad cycle
Lothjon
there
is
on the
just
Shy
looking
Guys.
really consistent.
Let's see how he does this shroom spot here.
Taking it wide, but again, it's probably the move in the
Yeah,
time
I
trials.
definitely agree that taking that wide and taking it safe was a good idea, and it definitely paid off. 2-second difference here.
All right, so yeah, that's a pretty clean victory for Lothjon. And okay, let's ask them the bans.
I wonder what Ultimate's gonna pick here.
Yeah, and again, just looking through their timesheets, there are no super obvious picks. You know, they're neck and neck on almost every track.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising that Ultim kind of messed up there. I mean, it's surprising and it's not, because you would think that the typically worst player would mess up more, but in this case, it didn't happen that way. SL, although being a pretty scary track, so it's definitely still anyone's game by far.
All right, so we're waiting on the counter pick from Ultima right here.
Yeah, and keep in mind that these players do have a 2-minute break in between tracks if they want to kind of get those nerves down. Looks like we're going to be going to Mario Circuit.
Yeah, I like when we have two good players that are close like this. We get a lot of the really smooth tracks without a lot of hazards. Just nice viewing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because there's really not a whole lot that can go wrong here, aside from those Goombas and some of the grass. And
yeah, I mean,
their
we're
times
probably
are
going to see a little bit of grass. If either of them is unlucky, we might get a Goomba. But those shroom spots are going to be really important. It can be a big time save here, but they're really easy to mess up.
Yeah, definitely. Probably the thing that's going to happen is one of them's going to get a bit too much grass and then might fall behind, and that lead just might snowball. Taking a look at their times, actually, the fast lap for both of them is within 31 milliseconds. So that's really just insane to see how close these guys are.
Yeah, and then Ultima's got a slight lead on the 3-lap, about 0.5. But again, that's less than one grass hit.
Both players getting a nice turn on that first rock there.
Pretty smooth start from both of them so far.
And this is typically what we're going to be seeing from these two players. Pretty consistent play up until that first sort of...
Oh, there it is. Lothjon in the grass.
Oh, and that's just what's going to happen. So now Lothjon's going to have to...
Yeah, so this is definitely not out of reach yet, but...
For sure.
Oh, man. Another big grass hit and a pretty big stuck there.
Yikes. You can really just see the lead mounting for UltimArkh right now. Lothjon still in the tunnel and Ultim's still there.
Just these little mistakes can snowball really quick.
And that's really what time trials is all about. It's just how good can you be with literally everything in the stage with absolutely no mistakes. But with one tries, there are going to be mistakes, and it's just who's more consistent. Ultim gonna nail that shroom spot.
Yeah, it looks like Ultima's running away with this. He's gonna need to hit a Goomba.
Yeah, for sure. And it's unlikely because he has the best cycle for it right now. Oh, Lothjon getting some more grass too.
Yeah, looks like this is just about over. Good job to Ultima. That's gonna put us at 1-1.
All right, UltimArkh actually a little seeming confused in the chat that he won that last match. Seems like he didn't think he was gonna get that one, even though he played really well. Lothjon gonna be considering his options now.
It always seems like in one tries though, no matter how bad you screw up, your opponent screwed up worse somehow.
Yeah, for sure. looking like we're going to be going to Luigi's Circuit, another very consistent, straight, sort of technical track.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to see these tracks, like the early ones, you know, the Mushroom Cup, Flower Cup, because they're so skill based. There's not a lot of places that they can go wrong, so it just comes down to their driving.
Yeah, I agree. We've seen sort of early in the tournament, there was a lot of like DKM, a lot of Baby Park, a lot of like high risk tracks, and now we're really getting into the low risk, high skill tracks, and it's really interesting to see
you
those
know,
two.
like when you're playing as an underdog, you kind of need to take those big risks. So you know, when we were seeing like top seed versus bottom seed, and when people were trying to get upsets, we saw a lot of DKM, Waluigi Stadium, Rainbow Road, but now we're getting the early tracks.
Yeah, and speaking about this early track, these guys are within 0.3 seconds of their PRs, and for the fast lap, they're within 0.02 seconds. So going to be crazy to see how close this. Also, I'm actually missing the first MTB. Not a huge upset, but it's gonna add up maybe.
Yeah, Lothjon getting a really crisp start. No,
oh, we're going in the sand.
Well, you know what? That's actually gonna almost even it up.
Yeah, those two
Ultima
errors
had a kind of slow start.
Let's see how these take these corners here. Pretty good from both players. Wow, 0.1 second difference between their laps. Definitely anyone's game right now. Lothjon taking it a little more wide on this time so he doesn't get any sand. Oh, these players are neck and neck. You can see by the arrows on the ground.
Yeah, man, this is an exciting race. All right, pretty solid shroom spot from both of them. Wow, those laps.
I can't get over how close these guys are right now. This is insane.
This is going to come down to the wire.
Let's see if they get any sand here.
Oh, Ultima getting a better line there. Oh, but hitting the sand on the exit.
Good MTs coming out from both these players.
Looks like Lothjon has a bit of a lead here. Wow, okay.
Oh, Lothjon taking it by 0.3 seconds.
Man, I'm excited to see what this counter pick is.
That is absolutely insane. I mean,
Lothjon saying in chat that he wishes he could stop shaking, and as a player in this tournament as well, I totally get where he's coming from. It can be really nerve-wracking doing the one tries.
Yeah, especially when you're doing pretty well in a race, you're just like you're trying to get your nerves down, but that even makes you a little more.
Oh, and look at me eating my words. They are going to go to Waluigi Stadium.
So opting for the sort of higher risk track here, it's going to be interesting to see if there's a big difference between the two players or if they're still really close.
Yeah, this is an interesting pick because although Ultima does have the better time here, it's a very risky track.
I mean, there's so many places for these guys to mess up. There's the these old sort of opening MT that they can mess up on. There's the fireballs, there's the piranha plants, there's the lines, there's the mud. There's just so many variables.
There's so many places to get caught here. All right.
I'm interested to see where these guys are going to shroom. There's a couple different places that they can go.
I would bet that they're both going to do the normal time trial shroom spot.
Yeah.
The only thing to think about is if you're worried about losing your shrooms.
Lothjon getting a ton of air there.
That's a huge time loss.
Oh, that's really gonna
hurt. On some tracks, you might consider using your shrooms early in case you fall off and then you don't have them. But I don't see them doing that on this track because even though there's a lot of places to get stuck, most of them won't result in them using the shroom.
True, that's very true. Lothjon getting a bunch of air there too. Oh, seems like his nerves are kind of getting to him. Ultimate going for that shroom and just still has one shroom and is like about a second or two ahead. This is really mounting.
He does have a huge lead, but at the same time, like we were saying, Waluigi Stadium, anything can happen here.
Definitely. It's still anyone's
So,
game by far.
It's definitely not over. Although this is
Lothjon
getting
actually
quite a
kinda
big
picked
task for Lothjon.
Ooh, Ultim getting a really bad line there. Pretty good shroom.
Yeah, and even though Lothjon got a pretty good shroom list right there, it's just starting.
He's got Ultimate's gotta go in the mud here, or fall off on the last ramp.
Yeah, I think falling off is his only choice. Nope.
Looking like it's gonna be not enough for Lothjon.
Yeah,
there.
so that's gonna be a clean win from Ultima. Man, this is tight. I would not be surprised if this goes to a game 9.
It's been back and forth this entire set, and honestly, that trend's probably gonna keep continuing. I wonder what Loth is thinking here right now. What kind of course he wants to go to? It seems like the high risk didn't really pay off.
All right, looks like he's gonna take it to Dry Desert. This one is pretty risky, but not in the same way that like Waluigi Stadium or DKM is. You can kind of get around a lot of the risks on Dry Desert by just taking easier lines, which
Yeah, for
is
sure.
not like DKM in Waluigi Stadium. It can be really hard to avoid those hazards. So Dry Desert, still a very risky track, but definitely a little easier to avoid the hazards.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this is riskier. It's sort of like skill risk. Like if you're really, really good, the risk is sort of mitigated by the line.
If you're willing to push it and take tighter lines, then it's gonna be really risky.
Yeah.
But if you just want to play consistent,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
it can be a little safer.
Now, it'll be interesting to see if they use the shrooms on the first lap here. There is a risk that they can lose their shrooms, either by going down the pit or by getting the twister. So let's see what these guys opted.
Yeah, if I had to bet, they're both gonna use they're gonna use their shrooms on lap 1 and 2 and the normal shroom spot.
Yeah, seems like they did it on lap 1.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did 1 and 3 as well.
Ultim took it really wide there after the pit.
Yeah, they might want to get the cycles, but they might also want to use their shrooms early, so we'll see what they do.
So, looking like they're both pretty even still, even though some errors by both players. Both going for the shroom. Both really good shrooms from both players as well.
Yep.
And Ultim taking that risky line.
Oh, and there's the pokey. That's going to be a huge advantage for Ultima here.
You hate to see if you're Lothjon, and that's exactly what he didn't want to happen. Now this lead is going to keep mounting from Ultim because he's probably going to take some easy lines.
Yeah, although the thing about the one tries is you do not know what your opponent's doing, so it can be
true.
it's really easy.
Oh, but Ultim.
Okay, holding an MT could be worse though. He's still got quite a lead. Getting a little bit of sand here.
That pit really slowed him down, but it seems like he's still just slightly ahead. And it looks like he's gonna...
Wow.
Oh no, Lothjon takes it with 131!
Really surprisingly close. Lothjon's gonna take it though.
Wow, that was so close. I can't believe he actually brought it back there. Ultim just had some pretty wide lines.
Exciting race.
Wow, that was really just a testament to if you just keep going, you can really bring it back.
All right,
2-3
so
Lothjon.
gonna get another counter pick from Ultima. Let's see where he goes.
If I'm him, I'm thinking probably something not easy, but something like a Peach Beach or something like a very low risk, maybe. Looking for Daisy Cruiser actually.
Yeah, Peach Beach might be risky with because Lothjon does have the better time there, and that's a fairly consistent track.
True.
We'll see. All right.
So there's a lot of things to consider here with Daisy Cruiser. Of course, there's the initial pool skip that you're going to be seeing from both players, but also the cycles of the tables. They're really going to have to time their shrooms wisely.
It is also noteworthy that this is one of the tracks that Ultima does have a fairly significant lead on. He has about a 0.6 minus on Lothjon's PR here, which at their level is pretty significant.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I wonder what the actual difference like makes up from. Is it maybe the lines or maybe the cycles? We'll have to see.
Well, I can tell you in the one tries, the difference is going to be neither of those. It's going to come down to mistakes.
yeah, for sure, for sure. Let's see if they use the shrooms on the first lap or not. Both opting not to, so they're both going to have the same cycle coming into these tables.
Yeah, and it's you know, again, it's easy for us to think maybe they should use their shrooms lap 1 or something, but you know, like when you're in the zone, you just kind of do your thing. And
yeah,
they've played this track a million times, so
yeah, they have their patterns down pat. They know what they want to go.
Yeah, and now they do know what cycles to expect too. So if they do stay on their lines, then they'll get the cycles they expect. But
both players pretty much neck
this is definitely a track though where a mistake can really cost you because you'll get off the cycles.
Lothjon having to do some L-type there to correct his line, gonna lose a little bit of time off of that.
Yeah, pretty sloppy midsection there by Lothjon, and it's gonna cost him a little bit.
Ultim's A-Tech is really on point right now.
Yeah,
Lothjon
they're still pretty neck and neck.
Oh, and Lothjon goes into the pool! That's gonna be devastating!
Yeah, that's gotta be it. I honestly can't see anything.
Ultim has to have a huge bonk here.
Yeah, I can't see Ultima doing anything.
Goes a little wide, but takes it safe, so...
Yeah, he could full on bonk a wall, and he'd still win it.
Yeah, it's looking like this is gonna be going to Ultim. 3-3.
3-3. This set is just as exciting as we were hoping it would be.
I can't say I'm surprised. Each player going back and forth on each game for different reasons too. Sometimes it's just skill, sometimes it's a bonk or a die. So going to Yoshi's Circuit by Lothjon. Interesting.
Yeah, quick counter pick. Knows what he wants.
Now it's going to be interesting to see if they're going to go for the yellow strat, which is a very almost, I don't know if frame perfect is the right term, but it's incredibly tough.
And it looks like they are agreeing in chat to both go for the YOLO strat. So if you guys don't know what YOLO strat is, it's the shroomless shortcut on Yoshi Circuit on lap 1.
It's really hard to describe how tight this trick is, although both players are very skilled. So
yeah, you know, I'd say a very competent player will get it most of the time, but there is a huge risk there, especially doing it on lap 1, because you have the chance to lose both of your shrooms, and the shroom spot here is a huge time save.
I'm gonna go on a limb. If one of these guys fails YOLO, it might be the end for this.
Well, we will find out soon enough. All right, they're off.
So we're gonna be.
Let's see if they both stick to their word. And they do.
Oh, Lothjon didn't go for it, but Ultima falls in.
Okay, well, Lothjon still has 2 more laps to go for the shroomless. But that is huge by Ultima.
Wow.
Even if Lothjon misses it now, the fact that he got to use that shroom and has another shroom is gonna be at least a 2-second time save, if not 3.
This might just be my interpretation, but when someone says I'm going for YOLO, I usually expect them to go for lap 1. So Lothjon kind of.
And Lothjon's off the edge.
Oh my god!
Just
both
like
players
that,
now
we've
have
got a
no
race
shroom.
here. Still, definitely a huge advantage for Lothjon, although he probably doesn't know it.
If I'm Ultim and I see this VOD, I'm wondering if Loth was being very honest there, because he didn't go for YOLO lap 1. Even if he was planning on it, he still is not taking the risk of losing his shroom, so I don't know about that call there.
You know what? I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Either way,
Yeah.
we're going to see an exciting race here, so...
Yeah, both players coming around to the finish line here. Going into lap 3, a huge lead for Lothjon.
Yeah, and Lothjon, even with that huge... Oh, and there he gets it!
Oh! It's a bit of a slow yellow, but still gets it nonetheless.
Yeah. All right. Well, he did it. So.
Well, hats off to Lothjon.
I take it back. Yeah, good stuff to Lothjon. That's scary stuff in one tries.
Yeah, it looks like it's not going to be enough for Ultim. Lothjon going to take it with a 150.
Yeah,
I mean, not a great time, but going to be.
What it really came down to was the shrooms, because they both fell off once, but the fact that Lothjon got to use that one shroom is such a huge time save.
Yeah, Lothjon actually very surprised that he won that in the chat. Oh, look at what we're going to the Rainbow Road.
Okay.
This is going to be crazy. No matter what happens, this is going to be absolutely insane.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm doing my best to be unbiased, but I do want Ultima to win this so we can see a Game 9. These guys are killing it.
Yeah, we all want to see more Mario Kart, so let's see if Ultima can take it out here. And Ultima actually having over a 1 second lead in the leaderboards for Rainbow Roads. Looking pretty good for him right now with the stat-wise.
Yeah, and another thing you have to take into account with those PRs is, there's the face value of his potential on the track possibly being better because he has a better PR, but that also probably means he spent a lot more time on the track, and he probably feels a lot more consistent with it.
Yeah, that's actually a huge deal. Feeling comfortable on a track is everything.
Yeah. But once again, Rainbow Road, risky track. We all know that this is going to come down to mistakes.
There's so many different variables here.
I would not be surprised if one of them has fallen off the track.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, man. Lothjon, the terrible corner there.
Oh, yeah, really making my heart go.
Even without falling, he's at least a second behind now.
So Ultim opting to go for the... both of them actually going for the MT on here. Pretty risky line, but it's going to pay off for both of them.
Yeah, and I've actually heard some top players say that it kind of helps you stay on your line to hit that MT. So maybe at their level, it's kind of a comfort thing, because they do it so much. It's almost just easier to go for it.
Yeah, for sure. Lothjon actually getting a way better exit there.
Yeah, and Lothjon with a really sloppy start to his lap, but kind of pulling it back. All right, let's see the R-Tech. Oh man, the R-Tech really lacking. Yeah, really lacking from Ultima. Lothjon getting a little bit better, and they're pretty much even now.
Yeah, that last bend really brought it back for Lothjon there with his really good R-Tech.
Man, Lothjon taking the hairpin really wide again. It's losing him a lot of time.
Let's see what they do with the zipper here.
I am just praying that nobody falls off the edge here.
Lothjon actually missing a bunch of those boosts there. Didn't cost him a lot of time.
Yeah, that is going to cost Lothjon. But again, Rainbow Road, not the end of the world. much worse things that can happen on Rainbow Road.
Yeah, absolutely.
So especially if he gets this R-Tech again and Ultima doesn't, that's going to be a big time save for the shrooms.
Yeah, he could even catch up and go before him. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, nice corner from Lothjon, and yep, that's pretty much gonna do it. Like I said, yeah, that R-Tech, such a huge time save, and Ultima just not getting it very clean.
That lap was actually
Lothjon finally taking the hairpin well.
That's actually big, especially for his mental game here.
Yeah, and this is getting pretty close.
That last lap was in 60 milliseconds of each other, so it's really, really tight right now. Let's see if there's any mistakes coming up. Both players taking it pretty nicely, actually.
All right, and Lothjon finally making it through this stretch without dropping an MT. I'm pretty sure he did the last few laps. Oh man, and this is getting scary. It's gonna come down to the spiral. Yeah.
It's coming down to the R-Tech on this last bend here.
Either way, really impressive driving from both of them on this. And who's going to take it?
Oh, and Lothjon
Wow,
takes it with
Lothjon
0.6 to spare.
taking it. Oh man! All right, congrats to Lothjon. That's 5.
Wow, yeah, GG's. That was a really close set, especially close
that
last
was a
map.
killer set. I'm really glad that I got to commentate that.
That was actually crazy. I can't believe Lothjon actually pulled that out in the end. Oh wait, actually, I think we've switched the format to best to set.
I believe that's starting next round. So this one is still a best of 9.
Ah, okay. Wow. Well, in any case, Lothjon showing some pretty solid gameplay.
Yeah,
we're gonna get the post-game interview.
I'm excited to get these guys into here and talk to them.
Hello.
Hey,
Well,
how you guys feeling after that match?
I'd leave it up to the winner to
Yeah,
start.
Loth, how you feeling?
I feel so good because I drove really bad.
Yeah,
so
it's
shaky.
funny. I hear everybody after one tries say that, but you know it just comes down to the mistakes, and you pulled it out.
Yeah, but like, dude, I don't get your Mac. How did you do that? Like 129 with a lot of mistakes.
It's a track I like a lot.
So I'm curious. I'm
You can
curious.
imagine.
Were there any tracks that you guys were grinding beforehand, or that you were planning on doing counter picks, and if so, how'd that go?
Well, I mean, I was actually playing a lot of Mac, but that didn't go so well.
For me, I planned Sherbetland, and I got stuck at lap 1, and then it threw me off completely. I'm a bit upset because I was getting like consistent 116, so I think I could have probably competed with John on this one, but
it's just the nature of one tries. It's gonna happen sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool seeing some higher level players doing the risky tracks, because you guys can make it a contest of driving instead of who doesn't fall off, which was fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, like Daisy Cruiser. I don't know what happened there, but
oh yeah, that one was a pretty hype one. It was
Oh yeah, that was looking real close. It was that was a frustrating fail there.
Yeah.
I am glad that we didn't see anybody fall off on Rainbow Road, though. That was a really great race. Actually, a lot of it came down to Lothjon. Your spirals were really, really killer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Every lap, those were a huge time save on Ultima.
How did Artex won? Wow, that's fun.
I don't know how to do AirTech in 60 Hz. So.
So do you usually play in 50 hertz? So is this new for you?
I always play in 50 Hz. Yeah, that's kind of last time I've played 60 was like, I don't know, 2 years ago probably. Let's see my.
Wow, you played really well for not knowing 60 hertz.
It's my last submission was in September 2017 on 60.
Wow.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Hey, good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah, so congrats to both of these guys for a great race, but especially to Lothjon for pulling it out.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, congrats, Sean. It was a good game. I wish it could have gone to game 9 once again. Would have been nice. But...
Oh, so do we. So does everybody. But either way, still a great set.
All right, well, with that, I think we're going to wrap it up here. Thanks, guys, for watching. Don't go away, though, because we're going to have some more Double Dash action at 6 p.m. It's going to be Goomba versus Mega Mat, so you don't want to miss that. The #1 seed is going to start his reign, so we'll see how that goes.